Policing of America report on a construction project taxpayers are paying for, and many are calling it the largest waste of taxpayer dollars in U.S. history.
Thanks for being with us, and we will see you back here tonight at 6.
Right now, here's Tom Brokaw.
Not guilty. 4 New York City police officers accused of murder, all acquitted tonight in the killing of an unarmed African immigrant. Wild ride. Stocks dive. The Dow closes below 10,000 for the first time in almost a year. The shaky market. Your money. What does it all mean? In depth, offbeat. A heart scare for former President Bush. What we should know about what happened to him. And the fleecing of America. The biggest government project ever. A big money pit. $11 billion and counting.
From NBC News, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw. Reporting tonight from Los Angeles.
Good evening. A year ago in the Bronx in New York City, 4 plainclothes policemen were on patrol in a tough neighborhood early in the morning. They went to an apartment building and they encountered a man in the entryway. And they thought that he pulled a gun. All 4 cops opened fire. The man, Amadou Diallo, was hit 19 times and he was killed. Diallo was an African immigrant, and he had no gun. Tonight, a racially mixed jury outside of New York City acquitted all 4 officers. This has been an explosive case from the beginning. What happens now? NBC's Rahema Ellis on the verdict and the emotional trial.
In a hushed courtroom, a stunning victory for the defense. Hugs and tears as 4 New York City police officers are acquitted of murdering an unarmed man. The jurors accepted the officers' claim that they acted in self-defense.
Not guilty. Not guilty. Not guilty.
So say you all?
Yes.
An emotional ending to a racially charged case that stunned New York.
We are obviously very gratified with the verdict here today. There is no victories in this case.
The 4 police officers were charged with killing 22-year-old West African immigrant Amadou Diallo in the doorway of his apartment building last year. The officers thought Diallo fit the description of a rape suspect. They fired 41 bullets. Diallo was hit 19 times. 2 of the officers emptied their 16-round semi-automatic pistols. The cops from a special plainclothes unit testified they fired in self-defense, mistakenly thinking Diallo had a gun.
He's crouched, he's got his hand out, and I see a gun. And I said, my God, I'm going to die.
But when the shooting stopped, they discovered Diallo had a wallet, no weapon, and no criminal record. What may have helped the officers was the only eyewitness who testified he heard one of them yell gun before the shooting began, suggesting they were firing in self-defense. The Diallo family disappointed with the not guilty verdict.
It is in the name of Amadou and his spirit that I ask for your calm and prayers. As we go on for the quest of justice, life, equality, I thank you all.
Even though acquitted of all charges, the legal troubles may not be over for the 4 officers. They could still face federal civil rights charges, and the Diallo family is expected to sue the officers and the city of New York. Rahema Ellis, NBC News, Albany, New York.
The other big news of this day from Wall Street, the Dow finishing the day below the 10,000 mark. Some new numbers showing economic growth up sharply gave investors a fresh case of interest rate worries. That sent the blue chips down more than 230 points to finish at 98.62. Even the NASDAQ, which has been on an extended rally, was down today. It was down more than 27 points. The Dow lost more than 357 points this week. It's now down almost 16%, 1,860 points from its record high just last month. How concerned should we be with this latest slide? Here's NBC's chief financial correspondent, Mike Jensen.
The day begins with great news for Main Street. New government figures showing a sizzling economy as the year 2000 begins. Then followed by another terrible day on Wall Street. The Dow closing below 10,000 for the first time since last April. But most experts say today's wild ride on Wall Street does not mean the economy's in trouble.
This U.S. economy is as good as it gets. We're going to see continued growth for as far as the eye can see. The stock market will rebound.
New statistics today picture America as an economic juggernaut, roaring into the new year with an astonishing growth rate of 6.9%, about twice the pace of a normal, healthy economy. That growth fueled by American shoppers.
I'm working, my husband's working, my son is working, we're all bringing in money.
Americans flush from 9 years of prosperity, the lowest unemployment rate in 3 decades, and an incredible stock market boom, the Dow tripling in just 5 years. But what about the stock market now? The Dow plunging, down almost 300 points last Friday, 133 yesterday, 230 today. And if that's not bad enough, news today that existing home sales are the lowest in more than 2 years because of rising mortgage rates. Today, a whopping 8.3%. A year ago, 6.9.
I probably have to look at a lower priced home just to accommodate the increase in the interest rates.
With so much bad news, why are so many economists optimistic? First, they say the economy is slowing down just enough to keep inflation away, but not enough to cost jobs. Second, most analysts think the stock market decline is temporary, a correction. Investors taking it in stride, in for the long haul.
I think if you really react, to the way the Dow goes, you're going to have an unhappy life.
Bottom line, most analysts say the American economy is so powerful it could keep booming for another decade, with millions of new jobs, and a stock market that will have its ups and downs, but over time will keep on rising. Mike Jensen, NBC News, New York.
Same time, the popular and high-risk form of dealing in stocks, which is called day trading, continues to get congressional attention, and the testimony is not very reassuring. NBC's Robert Hager has more tonight.
Yeah, I know. S&P is really good.
What are your chances of making money as a day trader? A long shot, a Senate investigating committee heard today from the Securities and Exchange Commission's Laurie Richards.
We found that day trading is extremely expensive.
SEC says by the time an average trader pays commissions and other expenses, just to break even, they have to make $200,000 a year. That's $17,000 a month just to break even. No surprise to the Senate committee's chair, Susan Collins.
The best evidence we have is that 77% of all day traders will lose some or all of their money.
Alice Wenzel says her son, like many, thought he could beat the odds.
I don't think Scotty fully understood what it was all about. In Scotty's mind, the picture that was painted for him is he was going to become rich.
The day trading industry says the committee's investigation is one-sided. Harvey Houtkin heads a firm called Alltech Direct.
What it is a search and destroy mission, a crucifixion, an ambush.
But the committee accuses firms of using flashy ads or internet appeals to entice customers, even altering documents to make it easier for customers to trade. Alice Wenzel's son, lured into the world of day trading, paid with his life, murdered in the Atlanta massacre last July when another day trader went on a shooting spree.
It's over for him.
For many, the penalty's less severe, but Senate investigators said today very often it's financial ruin. Robert Hager, NBC News, Washington.
Up next, heart scare. NBC News in depth tonight. Former President George Bush and the heart ailment that has put him in the hospital.
Well, I had a sense that I'm too tired and I couldn't stay up there shaking hands and doing the things I wanted to do.
George Bush's heart problem, how common is it? How dangerous can it be? That's tonight's in depth. And more shocking charges in a brutal war, casualties of war, or victims of war crime.
I'm too sexy. I'm too sexy for the drive-thru. And I'm too sexy for my coffee. Too sexy for the groceries. Too sexy for the dry cleaning. Introducing the newly updated Camry. So stylish it could go to your head. I'm too sexy for the flooring. Too sexy for the neighbors. Too sexy for the car wash. Too sexy.
Attention ladies in aisle 4. Getting the nutrition you'd like out of that cereal?
Yeah?
Because you'd be 4
big appetite.
Excuse me. 12 boxes equals the sink in total.
Need another coupon?
And you. Even 25 boxes couldn't equal vitamin E in total.
Express Lane? I don't think so.
Only Total has 100% of 10 vitamins and minerals. No other leading cereal comes close.
We'll take the Total.
Total Raisin Bran, Total Cornflakes. What are you getting for breakfast?
Years from now, you'll still remember the exact day you quit smoking. Quitting is that important, so treat it that way. Choose Nicoderm CQ. Why CQ? Most other patches don't have the gradual steps. Gradual is the method doctors prefer, and they don't have CQ's patented system that delivers a 24-hour stream of medicine. There's only one Nicoderm CQ. The power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to help you quit.
If you're looking for a new or used vehicle, and you just can't seem to be hitting the right car, or perhaps the right option, or even the right color, the right price, or the right fit, why not make it easy on yourself and visit Beaverton Toyota, Rush Chevrolet, Saturn of Beaverton, or Saturn of Bay. After all,
With Russ Humberson, you can miss.
New tonight at 6. At-risk teens get a break in the job market. So do those who hire them. It's a one-of-a-kind program born in Oregon. Tonight at 6 on Northwest News Channel 8, where the news comes first. Matt Stefino, only on Northwest News Channel
8. NBC News in depth tonight. When the heart loses its rhythm, that's the frightening ailment that has sidelined former President George Bush. According to the American Heart Association, almost 4 million Americans suffer from heart arrhythmias. It's estimated that almost 45,000 people die from that condition every year. The most common form is called atrial fibrillation. That's what former President Bush has. What causes this kind of heart scare? How dangerous is it? NBC's chief science correspondent, Robert Bazell, tonight reporting in depth.
Former President Bush leaves the hospital in Naples, Florida today in high spirits, saying he feels just fine after a brief episode of an irregular heartbeat.
I'm 75, but I feel 35.
Bush was admitted last night after he suddenly felt weak and sweaty while attending a bankers convention.
I had a sense that I'm too tired and I couldn't stay up there shaking hands and doing the things I wanted to do for our host. But, no, I never had a sense that there was something serious.
Dr. Frank Busek, who headed the medical team, agrees.
The medical term is atrial fibrillation, and that refers to a quivering of the upper chambers of the heart. It's a very common problem as we age, particularly in his age group.
Indeed, 2.2 million Americans suffer bouts of atrial fibrillation. 50-year-old Stephen Feldheim is having one now. What causes the irregular beating? A disruption of the electrical signals that drive the normal heart rhythm. Sometimes in patients like Feldheim, the irregular beats can be a symptom of serious heart problems. But often they are not, and experts say that is most likely the case for Bush.
This rhythm is going to be more of a nuisance and hopefully just an episodic thing for him rather than a dangerous thing.
While he was president in 1991, Bush suffered atrial fibrillation. Doctors brought it under control with medication. They later discovered the cause, a condition called Graves' disease that disrupts the thyroid gland, a source of key hormones for the body. Doctors treated Bush for the disease, a non-infectious condition he shares by coincidence with his wife, Barbara. Experts say there is no way of knowing whether Bush's latest heart irregularity is related to the one in 1991. Presidential candidate Bill Bradley also suffers bouts of atrial fibrillation. He was forced to seek treatment several times recently during the campaign, although there is no evidence his condition is dangerous. And today, Bush joked about that.
Remember, poor Bill Bradley had atrial fibrillation, and they had the guy in a coffin. And it's not true. I mean, look at me and look at him.
The biggest danger from atrial fibrillation? An increased chance of stroke. Doctors will keep Bush on blood-thinning medication to minimize the risk. But Bush remains healthy. In June, he parachuted from an airplane. In fact, Bush says he feels so good, he plans another parachute jump to celebrate his 80th birthday, just a little more than 4 years from now. Robert Bazell, NBC News, New York.
More news straight ahead, and later, the fleecing of America. Your tax dollars and the biggest highway project ever, if you can call it that, and it just keeps getting bigger. Is this big dig just a bottomless pit?
We are healthy, strong, funny, energetic, even sexy. We take good care of ourselves, and we drink Ensure when we can't eat nutritious foods like these. Ensure provides essential vitamins and minerals you find in vegetables, calcium like in milk, and protein like in fish. Ensure is a source of complete balanced nutrition and energy, so we can get the most out of life. Drink Ensure, and drink to your health.
50 is beautiful, and to stay that way, Pro-Vital Revitalizing Cleanser with gentle microbeads and Olay moisture. It leaves skin smooth and resilient. Pro-Vital from Olay, proven to be why women over 50 look so wonderful.
Why is Lysol spray the best way to help protect your family? Because of what it does, kills the cold bug in seconds, and what it doesn't do, leave the sticky film Clorox spray does. That's why nothing beats Lysol.
Hey, Annie Matthews, what's on your plate today?
Today's going to be great, but really just 10, maybe 15 cups. Lunch here, Annie. I'll probably grab a quick bite when I can. Annie, it's your box here. And maybe get heartburn. I used to think Tums if I'd already eaten. Not anymore.
You can take Pepsid AC whenever you need it. Pepsid AC controls heartburn before, during, or even after you eat.
Of course I can take you.
No matter what's on your plate, today should be heartburn-free with Pepsid AC.
Well?
I asked my doctor about Lipitor.
Ask your doctor what Lipitor can do for you, or call 1-888-LIPITOR to learn more. Lipitor.
Right now, a complete pair of glasses is only $99 at LensCrafters.
With this offer, we're making it easier for more people to see. Easier for them to look good, too.
The LensCrafters $99 complete pair sale. Hurry, offer ends March 11th.
Oh, I love pigs in the blanket.
Yeah, that's Chuck's favorite.
Hey, neighbor, your dog can go in my yard anytime.
Honey, I think we should leave the toilet seat up.
Son, I'm going to stop spending your inheritance.
No more junk mail.
Dad, I'll stop taking money out of your wallet. Me too.
And I'll quit stealing your newspaper.
Wouldn't it be great if everyone tried to make your life easier?
Dad, I'm not getting any more tattoos.
I want you to put me in a home.
We do. 5-star. An easier way to buy and service cars and trucks. It's better. We'll prove it.
Sunday, Bush or McCain. As the stakes get higher, the gloves come off. Plus, Jesse Ventura on the presidential race. If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
It's like today, only later. Later today, weekdays on NBC.
Despite his age and frail condition, Pope John Paul continues to travel tonight. He's in Egypt, which brought a historic moment, the first papal mass ever in that country, as well as a familiar call from the Pope for unity among Christians all over the world. More now from NBC's Donna Friesen.
Pope John Paul defying age and illness today on his 90th foreign trip. The first Roman Catholic Pope to say Mass in Egypt, a mostly Muslim country. He brought a message of tolerance after a recent outbreak of violence here between Muslims and Christians. At age 79, the Pope, looking tired, his walk a shuffle. His symptoms of Parkinson's disease evident, but he is determined to complete his ambitious pilgrimage over the next month to the holy sites of the Middle East. There is no question trips like this are a huge physical challenge for the Pope, and some wonder how much longer he can continue. But those close to him say crowds like this re-energize him, make him all the more determined to carry on. Italian biographer Marco Politi.
He feels that he has to go on with his job till the last minute. It is a way for him of sharing the passion of Lord Jesus.
But the Pope is making concessions to his physical limitations. Instead of walking to the altar in St. Peter's, at times now he's wheeled in a cart. And on foreign trips, the ground is brought to him. He no longer kneels to kiss it. Someday, he may not be able to walk at all.
Many people are now prepared to see this Pope continuing his duty also on a wheelchair.
Increasingly, there are questions. Should the Pope resign? It's not likely. No Pope has stepped aside in more than 700 years. And this pontiff has said it's a job for life. Donna Friesen, NBC News, Cairo.
Now to the war that goes on in Chechnya and Russia's behavior. Tonight, the State Department, in its annual report on human rights abuses, says it has credible evidence that Russian forces have carried out summary executions of civilians in Chechnya. President Clinton also had sharp words from Moscow. On the front lines of the war in Russia's breakaway republic, a videotape has surfaced that could put a brutal face to allegations of war crimes. Here's NBC's Dana Lewis.
The casualties of war, or evidence of war crimes. These pictures tonight causing a storm of controversy on Russian TV. The first 15 minutes of the evening news showing this video shot south of the Chechen city of Grozny. It appears to show Russian troops pushing the bodies of as many as 45 Chechen rebels into two grave sites. But what's the real story behind these pictures? Two very different accounts have emerged. The Kremlin spokesman tonight claiming these Chechen rebels were killed in fierce fighting on the battlefield, and Russian troops were just collecting and burying the bodies. But some say this may be evidence Russian forces have committed torture and murder.
The absence of any open wounds on any of the corpses shown in the films is possibly suggestive that they have been summarily executed. We know that this is going on.
In Washington today, President Clinton demands the Russians must let human rights groups into Chechnya.
The reports are very troubling, and I think they again make the case for the right kind of unfettered access to Chechnya and to the people there by the appropriate international agencies.
Human rights groups say these pictures are just the latest in the mounting evidence of Russian war crimes in Chechnya. For instance, the systematic roundup of Chechen men. The Russians say they take prisoners for questioning. But those released say they were tortured and witnessed murder. This man would only talk in silhouette.
5 or 6 soldiers got my neighbor out of the cell and raped him again and again. He was taken away and shot.
Human rights groups say the Russians won't let outsiders into the Chechen capital because they are trying to dispose of evidence that soldiers looted and executed more than 130 civilians. The Russians deny the murder charges and say it's too dangerous to let anyone into Grozny because of landmines. Tonight, facing increasing international criticism, Russian officials indicate they will launch an investigation on the story behind this video of mass graves. And the Russians say they will allow an international observer to now visit Chechnya this weekend. Dana Lewis, NBC News, Moscow.
I'll be right back with the fleecing of America.
Ask your doctor about Nasonex, prescription nasal allergy spray taken once a day for relief from nasal allergy worries, indoors and out, day or night. Approved for children 3 years and up. Side effects were generally mild and included headache, viral infection, sore throat, nosebleeds, and coughing. Nasonex, because the less to worry about, the better.
What if you could invest in 100 leading technology companies or tap directly into the investment potential of the Internet? You can. Call 1-888-4STRONG. You're one call away from a strong portfolio.
Thanks, Tim. Tom, when you're as busy as I am, you tend to forget things. When it comes to office supplies, you got to be on the ball. That's why I like Staples.com. They send me emails reminding me when to stock up on the supplies I need to keep my office humming. It makes things easy. My days of forgetting are behind me.
Want to give them 10 more minutes?
Order anything, anytime, anywhere with overnight delivery. Staples.com. Hey, you don't have to run out.
7,000 times a day. 685 times an hour. Once every 6 seconds, a GM owner puts their stamp of approval on the quality of our cars and trucks by coming back to buy another GM. It's the ultimate expression of loyalty. And to us, the ultimate compliment.
It's time for your heartburn to kick in because your heartburn relief gave out. It happens 2 or more days a week, even though you've treated it and changed your diet. That frequent, persistent heartburn may be due to acid reflux disease, potentially serious.
It's Prilosec time. Time to
See your doctor about prescription Prilosec. Your results may vary, but for many people, Prilosec provides 24 hours of complete heartburn relief with one daily dose. Ask your doctor for more information about Prilosec and if it's right for you. The most common side effects are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. 24 hours of complete heartburn relief is possible. It's Prilosec time.
Another reason CNBC.com's portfolio tracker has been called the best on the web. Stock quotes updated every 2 minutes on CNBC.com. Profit from it.
Saturday on Today, we begin a 2-part series on back pain. We'll have the latest treatment. Plus, we'll talk with Wonder Boy's Michael Douglas. Saturday on Today.
Now, the Fleecing of America, a task force of federal officials is gathering in Boston tonight to begin a detailed audit of one of the biggest and most expensive public works projects this country's ever seen. It started out as merely an ambitious effort to get rid of an ugly highway. Here's NBC's Lisa Myers.
It's the biggest, most expensive highway construction project ever. 7.5 miles of underground highways and tunnels to the city of Boston. Enough concrete to build a sidewalk from Boston to San Francisco and back 3 times. The original price tag, $2.6 billion. But now with the latest cost overrun, the new price tag, almost 5 times that, $12.2 billion and rising. Critics complain that the Big Dig has become a bottomless pit.
Federal road building projects are notorious for cost overruns, but this one has to top it all.
A new report by federal investigators calls the latest cost overrun, quote, evidence of an alarming lapse in oversight. Example, contracts awarded during one period last year, an eye-popping 38% over budget. Today, a federal highway official announces that a team of auditors and engineers will descend on the Big Dig this weekend.
We were disturbed by the cost overruns. We want to ensure that the taxpayer dollars are spent responsibly.
Also under investigation, whether project officials were deliberately misleading, not telling Washington about a $1.4 billion cost overrun until hours after the latest financing plan was approved. The Secretary of Transportation was not happy.
I actually found it, in many respects, unconscionable.
In fact, he recently announced he would not greenlight further construction until Massachusetts comes up with a new plan to pay for it all. A Big Dig spokesman denies anyone was misled, says the process increased the scope of the work and the price went up.
If we're guilty of something, okay, we're guilty of being very deliberative in trying to get to the right number.
And the governor of Massachusetts remains supportive.
This is an engineering marvel. We're 2/3 of the way through. We need to get it done.
But even some in Massachusetts who believe that Big Dig has important benefits say federal taxpayers who pay 70% of the tab have reason to be upset.
Is it worth $12, $13, $14, $15 billion? That's the question that people are asking.
At today's price, which is certain to go up, the Big Dig costs a staggering $1.6 billion per mile. By any measure, the Big Dig is one of the most expensive roads ever built, sucking $4 million a day of your tax dollars into what critics contend is a black hole, an ever-growing fleecing of America. Lisa Myers, NBC News, Washington.
That's Nightly News for Friday. Don't forget Dateline tonight at 9, 8 Central. And I'll see you at 8 on Sunday for a special MSNBC television event on cable, the Summit in Silicon Valley. On one stage, the leaders of the digital revolution answering questions on everyone's mind. How will the new economy change our lives? Can privacy be protected? How big is too big? Among my guests, the founders and top executives from the most successful and influential high-tech companies, including AOL, Amazon, eBay, Microsoft, and Intel. The Summit in Silicon Valley, 8 Eastern, MSNBC on cable Sunday night. I'll see you then.
Nightly News is a presentation of NBC News. More Americans watch NBC News than any other news organization in the world. From KGW, where the news comes first, this is Northwest News Channel 8 at 6.
It's supposed to be a safety corridor, but motorists on Highway 26 to Mount Hood appear to be ignoring the warnings. Already this week, 2 people have died in separate accidents. It's our top story tonight. Hello, I'm Carol Jensen.
And I'm Tracy Berry. Thanks for being with us. Every weekend, thousands of us climb behind the wheel and take Highway 26 up to the snow zone. It's a pastime that has turned deadly twice